Gonna go out and buy something. All right. Hey guys. To bleed the brakes. Bleed the brakes. A couple different ways of doing it. Make sure this is adequately full. Okay. I'm not going to actually do it, but it'll show you what. We get the wrench, it's like the quarter wrench. And what's going to happen, you're going to say, okay, you're going to be down there, the ones bleeding it. You're going to tell me what to do. Okay? So you're going to pump the pedal 3 or 4 times and then hold it, which I'll do if you want. And then you crack the bleeder and it'll force fluid from the master cylinder down to the wheel cylinder. That's when we do it on cars and stuff. Okay? A better way, put the wrench on first, hook this up to the bleeder port, which is right down here, okay? And so it's gonna be hooked up to that. And then what we're gonna do is, I'll look in here with a flashlight, you crack the bleeder port open, and then you pull this, I don't know if it has any air pressure, it doesn't look like it does. You pull that and fluid comes out. And so fluid will actually go up, but you don't wanna put it on with a big air bubble. You want to bleed the line first, like I have it bled. There's no air in there now. Now hook it up. So when you don't want to introduce a whole bunch of air into the system, otherwise it's going to take longer. And when the fluid starts coming out up here, you can say it's been bled. Typically, you don't want to go too fast because you're the one down here. You're going to get wet. Okay, and I'm looking down with a flashlight, and I don't want to get wet. So you want to just kind of pull the handle, pull it just enough to where it'll actually go out like that, So it's barely, that's all you have to do. Some people have problems bleeding it, they don't open the bleeder enough. So if it won't go in, if it's all just pulling down here, then you know you don't have it doing enough, okay? You may have to take a wheel off. So the preferred method of doing this is using the pressure pot. Okay, changing the subject a little bit. Okay. You might have to take the wheel off. First off, we'll make sure it spins. Kind of look at it. It looks like something's wrong with it. They just have spacers on them. Okay. So you're gonna undo that. Lay out the parts. You might have to pack the bearing. Does anybody want me to show them how to pack a bearing? Again, you probably go online, you put the grease in your hand, and you do it. But there's a big side and a small side. You do it. The big side is what you're putting down until it comes out of the small side. Okay. Then put everything back together the way it came apart, and it should spin without a problem. If you have to take a tire off, first off, take the Schrader valve out, right? That makes sure there's no air in the tube. Don't have to worry about explosions, okay? And you're gonna undo the nuts and bolts. And usually I just get a free standing tire or wheel. I'll find one laying around or whatever, and I'll bring that over to you. And then the wheel has come apart and you inspect it. It should look pretty clean and smooth. If it's real granular, somebody's just painted it over corrosion. It's no good. So you should have a nice smooth wheel. So you're inspecting the wheel for corrosion, the actual bearing races that are inside the wheel assembly, the tire for wear. Like, is this tire any good? Not to me, it's not. But look at the sidewalls, it dry rotted or whatever, stuff like that. So you're looking for pretty much a lot of stuff you do is going to be an inspection to inspect and see if it passes the test or not. Okay. Brake linings. Sometimes we have to replace those. Let's see if I have one to do. I might have one here we can do. the backup plate. The pad's not even for the right backup plate, so we're just going to do one. Yeah. And if you get lucky, you remember that one, then maybe you'll get lucky. All right, so we got to press it out. So we're going to put it in there like that. Okay? And notice it goes flat. I've had people try to kind of do it like this before. Yeah, you know who that is, right? And that's another one. And you just basically, you can either tap them out or you can just push them out. And that's it. See it drop out, boom, done. Okay? Now, I may have you inspect the pad. First off, it has chips in it. It's no good, boom. Okay? But I still have to have you install it. Okay? It also has scores in it or grooves in it or whatever. Also, I can have you measure the thickness. If I have a thing, if I give you a caliper, measure the thickness. Please learn how to use a caliper if you don't know how to use one already. All right, now to put it back in, obviously there's a recess for the rivets to go inside. You wouldn't want to try to put it on backwards because the rivets would actually contact that. Also, people put the rivets in backwards. We want the flush part of the head to go down. Let me put the one that was in there already. So it's going to be in there like that. So it's below where the pad's going to do. And this is the incorrect way if it was going through this way. You don't want to do it that way. Again, this is on, you can find this on YouTube. And obviously we want to line this up to it. Okay. Now we have to change this part out and put this part on. And this part's it's gonna fit right up inside that recessed area, okay? So we can actually squash the rivet, okay? And that has a little teat on the other side. So I'm gonna put this in like that, put this in like that, hold on to it, run it down in the center, and there it's lined up and it's in the teat. See that? Okay, now, all right, we just go down till it's pretty snug there, undo it, and that's it. It should be nice and tight. Usually if you put two in, it's definitely not going to move. But it shouldn't really move with one, so it's done right. And there it is. How hard is that to do? If you've never done it before, it may be hard. But if you have, or if you've seen it done recently, it's easy. And let's put that back on.